Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Senio, and the saga continues. So today I want to talk about, people that tend to feel like they're not living their dream yet. They haven't made it. They haven't arrived. If you're feeling like this, I know I have, where you're like working, and praying and doing everything that you could do, and you feel like you're not really getting closer to your, chief aim, your end goals, things like that. This is an issue. Again, everybody goes through it. You're not alone, but we want to make sure that we conquer this thing, okay, and not let it kind of sit there and fester and become a problem that just adds more obstacles to our journey, right? We have these goals, we want to actually accomplish them. So I want to hit a few things that I think will help you. It's helped me when again, some of this stuff I'm learning, some of this stuff I've learned in the past, and I'm applying it, and it's really helped me out. So I want to give it to you guys so that it will help you. Okay, so if you're feeling like you're reaching out, you're going through the motions and everything, you're trying to get to your chief aim, your goals, right? And you just feel like you can't grab it. You're grabbing air or something like that, or it just keeps getting further away. Let's address this, okay? So more than not, I think that you're really not giving yourself enough credit. We have this long life that we've gone through, and people tend to, yes, they have their vision on their goals, okay, but most of the time you're not giving yourself enough credit, okay? And we do have a past. The past is memories, okay? You can't let your past define your future or your present, right? But we have memories for a reason, right? We learn from them. You have a mistake, you shouldn't, feel guilty or condemnation or anything like that. You should learn from them and move on. Well, that goes the same for, successes, past successes. Success breeds success. So, God gave us memories for a purpose, and it's important to have those memories come up into your mind, right? And the way they make you feel, breeds more success in you, and then you can move forward. So, you know, most people aren't giving themselves enough credit for the accomplishments that they've already, accomplished, the process that they've gone through. So, a good way to do this, take some time, look back at where you were. If you were at a mediocre job making, $7 an hour, and then you worked for a year and you got bumped up to $10 an hour, and then you worked for another year and you got bumped up to $15 an hour. Maybe you had some goals to get a car or something like that, and you got a car, and you had some goals to move into a bigger house, and you did move into a bigger house. Those little things, we have those goals, right? And then we accomplish them, and then we just keep moving on, and we take them for granted, and we don't spend enough time just sitting and being grateful and thankful for it. So, stop and take a look back at the progress you've made, and realize that, what? I had a goal to move into a bigger house, and I did. Wow, that is an amazing accomplishment. Wow, that's amazing. I am so grateful for that. I actually did it. Wow. Okay, so that's going to help you realize that, you actually are living your dreams. You are right now, you're living the goals that you set for yourself. They may have been a few years ago, and of course you have other goals that you want to reach, but take a moment, stop, reflect, look at where you came from the beginning, and know that you're not just grabbing at air, okay, and smoke. You're actually progressing, through your life and reaching every single goal you've created for yourself. So, congratulations. Okay, you got to stop, acknowledge that, acknowledge the process, and be thankful for who you've become in that process, through this struggles, and through the times that you've gone through, and be thankful and grateful for the things that you have had. You've actually accomplished some goals. Okay, so this is going to help you out and help you realize that yes, you actually are living your dream, and now you can continue to move forward and hit those other goals. So that's going to help you, okay? Warning or disclaimer or whatever. Sometimes people have, certain goals. You want to live in a big, house, or you want to make a certain amount of money. And as soon as, sometimes people, once they get there, they kind of slack off and I don't want to say relax, because relax is important. Relaxation is vital. But, they kind of just start settling and say, well, I made my $1,000 per month, or I made my $10,000 per month. And, now I'm just going to kind of relax and boom. And then they realize, oh, no, I got to still keep working on my goals, because if not, especially for entrepreneurs, this is especially for entrepreneurs, because once you stop moving forward, you actually start moving back. So don't sit there and settle and have small little itty bitty dreams. Are the whole nature of us, okay, is we continue to dream. We continue to dream. We reach a goal and we continue to dream. What's next? What's next? We're about discovery. Okay, we're human beings. We're about discovery. So hopefully that helps you. Now, the second thing is to create, step-by-step goals. Okay, step-by-step little, goals per day. I've hit this the last couple days. I do this, multimillionaires do this. They go, okay, I want to be here, right? I want to be right there in about a year or so. I want to make my goal for this time, for this is what I want to do. And so how am I going to get there? Well, taking a big old leap, from 1 to 1,000 is just gonna blow your mind up. So it's probably not going to happen quite easily like that. But you go, okay, well, what can I do each month to get here? What can I do each week to get here? And what can I do each day to get to that end of the week and meet my goals? When you put them down in bite-size pieces like that, you actually start chomping away at it, and it goes fast. Okay, so make it bite-size goals. Bite-size goals. Little example. My pastor was. We were doing a fundraiser, asking for offerings for something. I think it was to purchase I can't remember, a parking lot or something like that, because we were running out of space because our church is growing, right? And he said, we need this much money. Oh, no, not a parking space. It was some theater lights and things, because we have kids ministry and teens ministry, and it's amazing what they do, and they want to be the best, that spirit of excellence. And we needed some lights for the church so we could actually see the kids doing what they're doing, and so he said, okay, it's going to cost $5,000. Now, for lights, I don't know, in Puerto Rico, $5,000 is a lot. That's like, I know in the States and other places, you're like, man, we drop 100,000 on some lights, and hey, we're good. But we're in Puerto Rico, and we're not Jay-Z yet. But anyway, so it's $5,000, and my pastor said we need to make $5,000, and everybody was like, I don't have, oh my God, how much? I can give 20, I can give this. And so I went to my pastor and I said, hey, you know what? Why don't we, how many people are here right now? We had about something like 200, 150 or 200 people right there at that church. And that wasn't even, that was just one service. Okay. So, and we had like 3 services throughout the week. So I said, okay, well, let's look at this, and let's say there's 150 people. Let's split up $5,000 and divide it by 150. All of a sudden, we broke that up into little chunks, and all of a sudden, everybody was coming. Hey, actually, in the couple weeks later, he said, listen, we need this $5,000. There's 150 people here, and that ends up being blah, blah, blah. And it was such a little amount. It ended up being such a little amount, it was ridiculous. Because then at that time, even more people came for that service. So it ended up being more people, such a little amount. I think it was something like, it really ended up being like $40 per person. And bam, we made the money like that. Because everybody thought, wow, I don't have to give $5,000 that I don't have, but I can give 20 this week and 20 next week or whatever. So it became, you break it down into little chunks, and it becomes palatable, digestible, and all of a sudden you're just, you eat that horse one bite at a time, or elephant, or whatever it is you want to eat, one bite at a time. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. The next thing is the why, your reason for your goals, okay? This is important. The reason you are doing something, again, your motivation is not other people motivating you, okay? Remember, it's nice to have motivational talks and stuff and inspirational stuff, but motivation is deep. It has to come from you. If you're dependent on other people making you feel good and pumping you up, you're going to fail, because you can't put that kind of pressure on other people to make you happy or to make you, get with it or push you to do things or whatever. Your mentors and your, people of influence and things can only do so much. It's got to come from you. If it's going to be long lasting and for a lifetime, it's got to come from you. So your motivation, the innermost motives and desires and, the emotional passions of your heart have to drive you. So your why, your motivation has to be so deep and it has to be so big, okay, that it just blows everything else out of the water. Okay, it has to be heartfelt. It has to be something that's not surface. Oh, I want to make $1 million because I want a mansion and I want to have all the honeys and I want to do all the. Okay, guess what? You may get it, but it's gonna be very empty very quickly, and that kind of stuff, that kind of success falls away very, very quickly. Pride comes before the fall. So don't settle for that kind of crap. Okay, that kind of the most successful people, they don't flaunt all their stuff, their money or whatever. They use it wisely. And it's because they have a passionate why. Bill Gates, he spends most of his time, he doesn't spend his time in the office anymore. He lets the money work for him, and he goes and he, blesses and has these ministries and these charities and things like that. And him and his family spend most of his time like that. He is actually giving back to the world and helping people. And that's a why. Maybe he had a different why when he was younger, first starting the company. Maybe he was, he obviously he didn't finish college and stuff, and maybe he grew up not so, particularly, in the best situation. And he was like, I am going to move forward. I'm never going to do this, live like this. He had a why. He had a reason. He had a deep, heartfelt motivation. So your why must be bigger than the obstacles that you're going to be facing. Your why, the reason that you want to have a company, the reason why you want to live in a bigger house, the reason why you want your family and your children to be happy and have food on the table, it has to be bigger than the struggles. Okay, your why must be stronger than the struggles and bigger than the obstacles. All right, if you have a cheap motivation, again, very surface, very shallow, it's gonna. You can't. If you have a shallow motivation, and for your dream, it's gonna fall flat. What happens is, for people who are like, "Yay, I want to make $10,000 a month." Yeah. What happens is the struggle comes, and they don't have a reason why. Okay. They don't picture in their mind, if I don't get this, what's going to happen? Well, I'll end up struggling more and staying in a life of, mediocrity and still working at a job at McDonald's until I'm, the age of 75, and then blah, blah. That's a pretty good why. But if it's not heartfelt, if they're just like, yeah, I'll make $10,000 a month real quick and I'll be able to, do my thing. You know what? Here's what's going to happen. In 2 weeks, 80% of their passion or their drive or their superficial reason to do this is gone within 2 weeks. They're like, they lost their passion, they lost any fire, they lost that motivation, they lost that inspiration. And in 1 month of starting a new business or starting an opportunity or starting with a mentor, whatever, they're gone. The passion, the motivation and everything is zero. They quit. In 1 month, they quit. Maybe if you get somebody who's, they're really relying on their mentor to motivate them internally and inspire them to do, then maybe they'll last, 4 to 6 months. But eventually that drains the motivator, that drains the person, because they're sitting there trying to get all their passion and stuff from somebody else, okay? And it just don't happen. So they don't have a big enough why, okay? So to just kind of summarize, all right, you got to have a why that's heartfelt, that's bigger than your obstacles, stronger than your struggles, You've got to have a deep emotional connection, a conviction for why you want to provide value. Because, again, in business or in anything in life, to get what you want, you have to help other people get what they want. You have to provide a service. You have to provide and be a producer. You have to give something, okay, that's of value. Okay, so it has to be a deep-seated emotion for what you want to do and how you want to do it, and the goals that you have set for yourself, okay? Very deep, a conviction even. It has to be so deep in you. Bigger than anything else in the world, okay? That why, that motivation, okay? Create those step-by-step goals. Make goals, step-by-step, okay? Okay, you know what? I want to make $100,000 a year. Well, let's start with, can I make $5,000 this month? Yeah. Now, the great thing about blessings is they're not linear, okay? They're not linear. They're exponential. They're exponential. Blessings are exponential, okay? So, you know, okay, well, I want to make $100,000 a year. I make $1,000 a month. Right now, I make $20,000. How do I do that? Okay, well, let's start with this. Okay, let's try to make I make $1,000 a month. Let's try $5,000 a month. Let's make that my bite-sized goal. Okay, you know, and then the third thing, again, acknowledge the progress that you're making. Celebrate the successes. I'm not, yeah, you know, you don't need to go spending $50,000 on a big old party, you know, because I don't know, hit a goal of $1,000 a day or whatever. I mean, it's up to you. But, you know, it's really important that, you know, a child's development is greatly influenced by, you know, the little progress that they make and the little successes that their parents actually celebrate them, right? You know, I think we probably think it's silly when a little baby is, maybe learns to pick up a rattle, and they go, "Look, Mom, I picked up the rattle. I used my hands." And, you know, the parents are like, "Oh my gosh, yay, you picked up the rattle and didn't drop it, yay." That breeds success in the child. Okay, that's imperative to their development, right? You celebrate every little thing. Their little tooth comes out. Yay, the tooth came out. You know, oh, they pooped in the potty. Yay, they pooped in the potty. Right? We celebrate those little things, and that's imperative. It has to be done, or your child will not develop properly, right? Same thing with us. We don't have mommy and daddy doing that right now, right? So we got to do it for ourselves. You know, hey, great, I made my first sale today, and I made $50. Okay, maybe it's not at your goal of $5,000 a month yet, but you know what? Hey, I know I did it. Now it's just rinse and repeat. I'm gonna celebrate myself by cooking myself a nice dinner. Okay, I'm gonna celebrate by acknowledging that and you know, just doing a little something for myself, just to celebrate. You know, I'm gonna celebrate by going out and to the movie theater, whatever. You know, whatever. You just gotta help. You know, acknowledge your progress, celebrate your successes, you know, and, you know, pretty soon you'll be like, bam, because success and celebrating that feels good. And it's important that you feel good. And I'm not talking about the superficial feelings, right? I'm talking about the deep, deep feelings that actually transform you and get your mind thinking about good success. Okay, so hopefully that helps. That's my cat jumping on the table here. So I hope that helps you guys. You know, bless you, and start to celebrate your success. Acknowledge your past progress that you've made, and know that you are living your dream. So be thankful for it, and that's going to propel you to continue living your dream and reaching your other goals. Okay, I will see you tomorrow on the next video. God bless you.